All right, it's almost football time in Oklahoma. T-minus 29 days till Oklahoma kicks it off at 6 p.m. against Temple at home, and we get to unveil those SEC logos in the field for the fans. This is something we have been waiting for years. Highly anticipated season is here, and with the highly anticipated season coming, you've got predictions flowing in. And the other day, a specific On3 college football expert made a prediction about Oklahoma, basically saying they're going to be the same thing as Colorado this season. If you're an Oklahoma fan, that makes you scratch your head, especially about the comments he made about what Oklahoma could be. But before we dive into it, though, we need to hear from y'all. So join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. Give me your thoughts. You might be asking yourself, Preston, why are you at home? Why are you recording? Shouldn't you be at the hospital, baby? I'm actually not feeling well. So today, we're going to make the most of it. We're going to record a video and drop a like for little baby Gant down there in the comments and in the like button. So, all right. Oklahoma. JD Pickell made season prediction for Oklahoma, talking about how they're going to be on the same level as Colorado in terms of what the record is this season. 6-6. Now, didn't say Oklahoma and Colorado are going to be very similar teams in their play style. Like Oklahoma probably plays Colorado and blows the doors off of them. But record prediction-wise, 6-6. Oklahoma fans really scratched their heads saying, well, that's under what Vegas said Oklahoma's going to win, where the line is 7.5. If you're an Oklahoma fan, you got the line when it was at 6.5. You're bound to make some money. With 6 wins, that basically means you're going to win your 4 out-of-conference games and only 2 games in the SEC. It just seems highly unlikely. Now, I'm not going to be making my official final predictions until probably this weekend. We'll dive into it. We might even jump on a live. Let me know if you guys want me to do that. But we're going to get to the thoughts of JD Pickell here. So let's listen to JD Pickell's thoughts, and then we're going to dive a little bit more into it.
So when we talk about the record here, the defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. And Oklahoma is one of the trickiest teams for me to get a pulse on, because I think you could make an argument for them having a tremendous season, winning somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 games. You could make a case for them missing the bowl game. Like I could see either path depending on how those variables we just talked about end up falling. So let's talk about Oklahoma here in terms of their schedule. September is the big swing month. There's 2 games I have circled if I'm a Sooner fan. It's Tennessee, for storyline reasons, obviously, but also it being your first game in the SEC. And then welcome to the SEC, baby. You turn around the next day, flip right around, and you play at Auburn the next weekend. The big reason why those games are important, one, is for establishing momentum and confidence. That's obvious. But you got to beat who's in your neighborhood, man. If you want to win at the highest level in college football, you got to beat who's in your neighborhood. And Auburn right now, them going into year 2 under Hugh Freeze, I think they are in a comparable spot from a roster perspective. You talk about Tennessee. They're going to be really good, but they're playing a new quarterback as well. Beat who's in your neighborhood. Beat who's in your realm when it comes to the competitive nature of where your team stands. Now, by October 12th, we talked about Jackson Arnold, trying to figure it out and get comfortable and all that. New offensive coordinator as well. By October 12th, when you play Texas in Red River, how far along is the offense? Because at that point, we're rolling. That's going to determine if you end up getting the over on that, if you end up making a bowl game like that. That is the number for us, okay? Texas, South Carolina, at Ole Miss. You play Maine, catch your breath a little bit. At Missouri, play Alabama, finish at LSU. We got to be rolling because in that run, look at the offenses there. Texas, Ole Miss, heck, Missouri, Alabama, LSU, all those teams would not surprise me in the slightest if they all scored north of 37 a game. Translation, you're going to have to bring your cleats that day. You're going to have to make sure that you brought your Gatorade because they're going to score a lot of points. Oklahoma might be a Powerade school, so bring your Powerade for the good folks in Norman.
So talking about this, looking at this for Oklahoma, and it really felt like, and I have not got a chance to talk to JD Pickell, so this is not an attack in any way. It just really felt like it was a hedge a little bit, saying there's a chance Oklahoma doesn't make a bowl game. There's a chance they could win some more games throughout the season. And to me, I look at it and say, well, Oklahoma's probably going to win all 4 out-of-conference games. So there's 4 wins right there. Oklahoma's already favored against Auburn. You've got Tennessee at home. That one feels like a game Oklahoma could win. So those first 2 games that he talked about for Oklahoma could be 2 dubs and put Oklahoma at 6-0 before they go to the Red River rivalry. Now, again, this is not going to be my official prediction because I have not actually made my official decision on at Auburn yet. Going to Jordan Hare Stadium, that just seems like a tall task to ask Oklahoma in their first true road game in the SEC. But we'll get that narrowed down and we'll figure that out. But I just look at it and I say, South Carolina, I guess, could be a hiccup game for Oklahoma, especially if you win against Texas. It could be a slip-up game, but I just don't see a world where Oklahoma wins less than 7 games this season. Shoot, I don't see a world where they win less than 8 this season. I think Oklahoma is a good enough team. Brent Venables, I think, is going to have this defense where he wants it. The early returns out of fall camp scrimmages and practices are Dominic Williams looks the part. And if that's the case, you have 3 to 4 elite dudes on that defense at each position. You have Dominic Williams on the defensive line, Danny Stutzman at the linebacker position, Woody Washington at cornerback, which you could say you have Des Malone there as well, because Des Malone was an all-world guy at San Diego State. And then you've got Billy Bowman in the safety room. So I look at it and I say, I feel like some of these experts across college football are not seeing the improvements that Oklahoma made last year on defense and understanding Oklahoma only got better this year through the transfer portal. I think everybody looks at Oklahoma and says that offensive line scares me, and that is what they're letting them drive their narrative, which if you're kind of like me, I think you have a little bit more hope in that offensive line, and I think you believe that offensive line is going to push Oklahoma a little bit farther than maybe where the experts say Oklahoma is going to get with the offensive line. I think this offensive line for Oklahoma this year, again, not ready to make the official prediction, is going to hold probably 30 or less sacks, which I think if you hold 30 or less sacks, it's probably a top 5 team in the SEC this year, because Georgia last year only allowed 11 sacks on Carson Beck. One of the next best teams was at like 23 or 25 sacks. So in the SEC, 25 to 30 sacks is a very reasonable ask for your offensive line. And Bill Bedenbaugh has not put out a bad offensive line yet. So looking at JD Pickell's comments, going 6-6, I just think it's a little asinine. I think it's a little out there. And I kind of wanted to get y'all's thoughts on it as well, especially before I go and make my prediction video, or if we go live on it on Saturday. You guys just, again, jump in the comments, let me know what you guys want. But I just wanted to kind of get these thoughts out here. It seems like people just do not believe in Oklahoma right now. Talking season is about to be over. We're about to hit the field and be able to see it. I will say, if Oklahoma struggles in their first 3 out-of-conference games, whether it's on the offense or the defensive side of the ball, that talk is only going to get louder. So Oklahoma has to be able to go out there and make a statement this year. So, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Join the discussion below. Let me know what you guys think. Hey, until next time, we're going to be getting some football here soon. Boomer.